Hello and welcome to the YMS podcast, where we discuss all things automotive and motorsport. I'm your host Yasin, and today we are discussing resto mod Ferraris. Resto modding involves restoring and modifying existing classic cars, something that has become increasingly popular in the last few years, particularly with Porsches. But unfortunately, we don't really see too many Ferraris, but there is one company called Automobili Maggiore that is starting to resto mod Ferraris, and today we have the founder and CEO of the company, Gianluca Maggiore, joining us to discuss this. Welcome, Gianluca. How are you?
Hello, Yasin. I'm fine, thanks. And it's a pleasure to be here with you to talk about my company and my project and my ideas about automotive world.
I mean, when we first met at Hampton Court, and when I came across your car and what you were doing, I thought I had to get you on a podcast, and I want to tell your story to the world, and hopefully many people will see this. So let's start from the very beginning. How did you get into cars? How did your passion for cars start and your passion for Ferrari start? Because I think that's where we should start off from first.
Yes, of course. Okay, I loved cars since where I was a kid. And this love came from my family, my parents, especially my mother. She's really a big fan of cars and red cars, so Ferrari. And of course, be Italian is like 90% means be fan of Ferrari. So I was lucky because at the beginning, when I was a kid, my parents brought me to see the Formula One many times. So my passion starts from there, and slowly came into me, and that's why I became an engineer, mechanical engineer. Wow. Because my passion start from kids and then grow for many years. Then I decided to study engineering to work in this business, to understand the mechanics and put something of my story, something of my ideas into a car. So after the graduation, I worked in the automotive business, automotive sector. I worked for Alfa Romeo. I was in charge of the developing team of Alfa Romeo 4C, the sport car, the carbon fiber sports car. And after that experience, I worked in another project, and then I moved to another kind of sector in the automotive, because I started my collaboration with Zagato. So I beginning my adventure in the automotive business, working in an industrial company like the Fiat Chrysler Group. That was a big group. It's a big group. And then I shift to a very special atelier that is Zagato, with a long history in design and in technology, because the Zagato company made a car for more than 100 years, and they were really deep into design, into aerodynamics, into lightweight materials. And most of all, I working on this kind of reality. I understood how to do special cars, special projects. So I understood how to create something unique, something handmade, tailor-made. So I changed my point of view from industrial to tailor-made concept. After that, I decide, thanks to these two big experiences, I decide to move on and make something by myself to express what I had inside about cars, about what I wanted to do. So that's why I created Automobili Maggiore. Automobili Maggiore is the expression of my ideas. And of course, as Italian, as a big fan of Ferrari, I decided to do something with Ferrari. Of course, it's always difficult working on Ferrari. That's why I think nobody else is doing, because Ferrari is, the greatest brand in the world about cars, and it's still on. So Ferrari is still producing great cars. So
exactly.
Difficult.
I mean, nobody wants to touch those cars, especially like the collectability. People are scared to modify them because then they think the value will go down. And I think you're probably one of only, I've seen one of only two companies that are doing it. I saw someone do a Testarossa, but I don't know if they're doing any more. They just did like a one-off, I think. But
Yeah,
you're actually doing it properly. You made it quite a few cars, and you're working in a second car, which we'll come to later. But how did Ferrari react when you actually came up with this and they found out about what you're doing? Because Ferrari are really strict about what you can do with their cars. Even the colors, sometimes you can't even choose certain colors. They tell you off or they don't allow you to do it. So how did they react to you?
yeah, they are very strict. In fact, they wrote me to ask me not using their logos, but that's it, because actually I'm just trying to give some more value to some cars that nowadays are not collectibles, because I didn't put my hand on F40 or on GTO or some very small limited series vehicles. I used a car like the Ferrari 308 that it's an iconic car because its line is without time, but it's a car that has been product for 10 15 years in more than 12 in more than 12,000 pieces.
Yeah,
so
they made just want to give the background to people who are not new to the model. So the 308 was in production, I think, from 1975 to 1984 to 85. They made 12,000 units, as you said. There were 7 different variants plus a rally car. Nicola did the rally car, and that included a fiberglass body Retrosina. I think they made about 800. And then there was a fuel injected car, carbureted car, Quattro and a GTB body and GTS body, which is the Targa roof body. So people can understand that.
And then after that, for I think 5-7 years, they produced the 328. That it was the evolution of 308, but more or less was the same car. So it's a car that you can easily find in the market with a reasonable price. So it's a car that we decided to use this car because I love this car, because when I was a kid was my dream car, even because of Magnum PI series. Always because
everybody loved that. Everybody likes that series because of the car, because of like doing all the burnouts and stuff like that. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So that's the point. That's the point where we start to modify a 308. But we didn't want to do something extreme. We just want to give some modern touch to a car that is already incredibly beautiful. And in fact, we made the Project M, that is our first project, that is a resto mode of 308, and we slightly touched the body. We completely redesigned the body, and we realized the body in carbon fiber, full carbon fiber. But we wanted to maintain the line very, very similar to the original. So if you're not an expert, you maybe cannot recognize that it is a new car or something different. Because we want to, it was like our love for the car to maintain its design. We didn't want to make strange stuff on the Ferrari. And that's why I think Ferrari don't say too much, because actually we didn't ruin the line of the car.
When I saw your 308, I couldn't tell that you actually redid the entire body. It just looks like a 308 with slightly different lights, pop-up headlights, and the front was slightly different. But I couldn't tell. It's only because you just told me now that I realized that you've actually redid the entire body and it's carbon fiber. So, but how did you go about doing that? Is it a complicated process, or is it a fairly straightforward?
It's quite complicated. The resto mode is complicated because you have to restore and modify the car, an existing car, an old car. If you build a new car, it's easier because you design the car, you build with a new technology. But to do resto mode, you have to use new technology to improve old technology. But you have also to use someone, or I mean partners or people who knows about the past project, because otherwise the risk is that you make some modification that are very bad for the old cars. So we completely scan with laser the old car and redesign everything. So we redesign the body, we redesign the suspension, we redesign all the interiors, and most of all, we redesign all the components of the engine. We use the original block, but then we redesign pistons, valves, injection, intake, exhaust, all the components to give reliability and performance to an old engine. So in this case, you will have a modern car with this kind of vintage allure, vintage style, and also vintage feelings, because we want to keep it analog. So we want to keep manual transmission. We want to have less electronic as possible, just to put the driver in the center of the stage again. Because the problem, I mean, nowadays there are many of supercars around, many brands made it, and they are incredible, but they are also so easy to drive, especially if you use all the electronics. So it's something that become not so special driving that kind of cars. I mean, in terms of capacity to drive. So we wanted to give back this kind of feelings to the driver.
What about the horsepower? You said that you made changes to the engine. Did you assume the horsepower was increased as well?
Yeah, we increased the horsepower. The Project M, we have two levels of power. Okay, the original engine has 240 horsepower. Now we can have from 300 to 400 horsepower, always with natural aspirated engine. But most of all, we changing all the components. We can working on the electronic injection. We can have a good torque still at low RPM. So the drivability of the car is completely different, completely more modern, even if the sound is still a very V8 Ferrari style.
Is the car lighter as well?
Sorry?
How is the car lighter in terms of weight? Is it how much?
Yeah. Of course, because of carbon fiber, because of some components that we have changed. We have used lightweight materials. Now we have 150 kilo less than the original. So now we are approximately about 1,200 kilo. This means that you have 300-400 horsepower with 1,200 kilo. It's a good ratio.
Yeah, that's a good combination. Yeah, I mean that it's the right amount of power that you can use fully to rev it out. It's not dangerous. At the same time, it's lightweight, so going around the corners, it'll feel good. And I saw that you even changed the tires as well. It's low profile tires rather than wide wall tires.
Yeah, because we redesigned the wheels. We increased the dimension. We made 17 inches with a similar design to the original, but a little bigger, and of course larger, because we widened the body of the car and also of the tires, because of the power increase. So now, yeah, also the brakes. We have a new brake system made by Brembo. We completely modernized the car in all the aspects. So now it's safe and enjoyable.
What kind of people are ordering this car? Are there people who've had Ferraris before? Are there 308 enthusiasts?
Yeah, there is. It's strange, because the potential customer are coming from different area in terms of age, in terms of feelings, because there are some nostalgic people who love that car because like me, when they were young, they had this kind of love for the 308. There are some collectors that have other Ferrari or other cars that want something special, something unique, because we will do limited pieces of this project, these two, also the other one. So this is like a collectible. and it's a tailor-made project, so the client can work with us and live with us an experience to create his own car from the beginning. So he can come to the workshop, he can decide all the colors, the materials, we can do whatever he wants. For example, we put the knob of the gearbox in marble because our company is in the marble area in Italy, where the famous Carrara marble is taken from the mountain. So we want to keep our roots on the car and also give an idea of our customization program. So we had this marble knob on the car. So it's really something unique. And when we use the car around in the city, the people really look at the car and astonishing because it's something with this touch of 80s, but at the same time is something modern. For example, even thanks to the color that we choose, is a special color because we use a design company from Amsterdam to choose colors combination, special textile of interiors, to give another modern touch to the project. Because as I told you before, we want to combine vintage and modern. We want to give some new life to a car that was iconic and still iconic, but sometimes is a little undervalued.
Yeah, I mean, the 308 has a big following, as you said. They made 12,000, but in the Ferrari community, there's like almost like subgroups where people just like the 308 and 328 cars. How did they react when they saw this car?
No, actually, they had a good reaction. I also let some people who own the 308 or the 328. I let them try the car and they love it because of the natural improvement. So they love the line and they love the new performance. So they are quite happy, and I'm happy of this reaction because it is what I was looking for when I started the project.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari fans are really difficult to please. So if you can make them happy and bring them on your side, you've already done half the battle. I mean,
yeah, they are very conservative. The Ferrari customers are very conservative, so it's not easy to satisfy their ideas.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I see Ferraris with the wings on them, I get really annoyed with them. It's like, why are you putting a wing on a Ferrari? You shouldn't be doing that. It's not a race car for the road. It should be, the race car is fine, you put wings on it, but a road car, no, there should be no wings. It should be just clean lines. I mean, that's my opinion anyway, but I don't know how you feel about that.
No, it's yeah, I'm happy. And then of course there are some different reactions depending on the customer, because for example, we went to US, and US, they love the car, but they want something more extreme, something with more power and a little more muscle. And that's another reason why we proceed with the second project, the Granturismo.
Yeah, I mean, we come back to that in a second. How many of these Project M's are you planning to make, or have you made so far?
Yeah, less than 40.
Less than 40.
Yeah, we choose 40 because when we started the project was the 40th anniversary of Magnum PI, and it was also my 40th birthday. So
that's a good, yeah. Why not? I mean, and when did you? I think I saw on your social media or website you started in October 2020. Is it?
Yeah, actually, we started in 2019, but we were not lucky with COVID, so we stopped and then we restart. But still, we had some difficulties to go around the world, especially in Europe, because everything was closed for almost 2 years. So we start this year to really go around. In Europe, we went to London, where we met, and before we went to Monaco, to Monte Carlo. Otherwise, we couldn't travel. We just went to US the last year because it was the only place open to make some events, some showcase. So now we are still promoting the car, especially in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I came across you the day before. You know, when the day we met, the 2 days before that, I saw your the Granturismo being on social media, and everybody went
Yeah.
crazy over it. And I thought I probably was never going to see this person. I'm never going to see this car. And then 2 days later, we met. So that was pretty cool. One of my friends actually, he told me to look out for you. He came to Hampton Court the day before, and he said, make sure you go and see this 308. Like, don't miss it, basically. So when I came in, that's one of the first places I came to, and I thought, let's take this car out. And I thought I was really impressed by it. I thought, finally, someone's done a resto mod of a Ferrari.
Yeah, thank you,
So
appreciate it.
how long did it take to make one of these cars? So if I say somebody put an order in today, how would the process be? And then finally, when would delivery take place? Would they give you a
Yeah,
308, or would you buy one yourself and then make it from there? How would that process
yeah.
work?
Actually, the process is that the client should supply the 308, but of course we can help him to find one in the market. We ask to supply the car because it's easier from a bureaucracy point of view. So with the registration of the car, it's better if the car is already registered under the final customer name. But of course we can help him. And then we start working on the car. We completely step out the car, all the body, all the interiors, everything. We start from the chassis. We reinforce the chassis. We restore it. We repaint with anti-rusty products, and we make all like new. And then we build new suspension. We build new brakes. We build new electric system, air conditioning, interiors, all the engine, gearbox, everything. So this is a very long process because it's always handmade. We don't do production. We don't do big volumes. We do just few cars per year. We can do. So it's something that we need around 1 year to make one car. Of course, we can do more cars contemporary, but we have to, more or less, we need 1 year to complete one car from when we start work on it.
To be honest with you, that's quite good, because 1 year, if you're going to do it properly, 1 year is actually a good time to get it all done. So it's not a long wait, considering you having a bespoke car made for you.
Yeah, exactly. Especially because now also, I mean, the big manufacturer, if you ask a special car, you have to wait also 2 or 3 years. So 1 year, I think it's really reasonable. And yeah, this is because of course the project is already developed. So we have the molds, we have everything. So it's just something that we need to create all the parts, and then also to work with the client to find all the combination he liked to create his own dream car.
Say a client came to you and said that I want to do a one-off 308, like the Michelotto rally cars that were raced. Would you be able to do something like that for them? Or?
Yeah, actually, I tell you already. We had one request of of this kind from a guy from US. So we are talk about this, because actually the 308, as you mentioned at the beginning, had different version, and one was the rally one. So yeah, we are talking about the rally version. We can work on one-off car, no problem. 308, or even if you tell me, okay, why we don't do a one-off on Testarossa or on another car, even another brand, no problem. We can work on it. We have all the ability to work on all the car.
I've always wanted to see a resto mod Ferrari rally car, because they used to do it back in the 70s, and I think even the 50s and 60s Ferrari used to do rallies, not official factory ones, but they will send their mechanics to actually help with the team privately racing in rallies in Africa and so on. So it'd be good to see some Ferrari enthusiast who really knows the brand to commission something like this. I mean, it'd be fun to see.
I hope to have the chance to go on with this project. As I told you, we just start talking with this US guy. Let's see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if you do some renders, tag me in them on your social media. I would love to. I already follow you, but tag me in, so it'd be good to see them.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Don't worry.
Thank you. And what about let's talk about the future of your next car, because it was your Granturismo that really got on, I think, on a lot of people's radars, because when they saw the renderings, and a lot of news sites picked up on it, car websites picked up on it, and they started, everybody was tweeting about it, and my friends copied me in and said, have you seen this new Granturismo coming out based on or inspired by the GTO? What's the process behind that? Because I've seen the model, but let's go behind the in-depth look at.
Yeah, the process. Okay, we start for more than one reason. One reason was that some clients want something more than the 308. Another reason is that actually my favorite car, Ferrari car, is the 288 GTO. I mean,
that's a good choice.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most beautiful car in the world. And another reason is that I wanted to promote, to honor the father of the GTO, that was Nicola Matterazzi. So I had the luck to meet him and start talking with him, and then after that we decide together to collaborate to this project, because Nicola Matterazzi was the engineer who created the GTO Evoluzione, F40, Bugatti EB110, and Adonis. So I mean, he was a genius, and he was the godfather of turbo engine. And but unfortunately, due to like politics, I think the world didn't give enough respect. So I wanted to promote also his name through this project, and I was lucky because he agreed with me, and he helped me, and he collaborated with me, enjoy this kind of activity. Unfortunately, he was sick the last few years, so we couldn't work for too long. That's why we present the car even if the car is not ready, because unfortunately he passed away just a week before we present the car. But I'm happy that there is his touch in this car, and this car it's the biggest evolution of the 308. It's based on the 308, like the Project M, but he has a deep modification, both in chassis and the engine, in everything, and it's something really extreme. And we push also we push forward also the design, because if with Project M we stayed with like a low profile modification, quiet modification to maintain the line very close to the 308. With the Granturismo, we wanted to express the power. We want to show off a little bit more.
I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, like everybody was tweeting about it, as I said. So it kind of you got the impact that you wanted. What about the power and the horsepower? What kind of horsepower are you looking at?
Yeah, also the power will be much more, because we should arrive to 600 horsepower with the double turbo. And we are also using a special technology developed by Italtecnica, that is the company in Turin that is helping us with the engine. They are specialized in racing cars, so they know how to work on the cars. They also work on the three-flux engine from Lancia Delta S4. So I mean, they are quite good at making new engine. And yeah, it's really a crazy car, a really crazy project. And we had a very good reaction from the public because of the design and because of the specification.
I think it's one of the best cars I've seen this year. Honestly, it's like from anything that's come out, I think it looks stunning. It's a beautiful looking car, but it's also very aggressive looking. So it's quite rare to see cars like that. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much, Yasin.
When are we going to see the first one to come in?
Yeah, we are working on it, and we are still finishing the developing phase. I hope at the end of next summer to have the car.
Maybe I could come to Italy and take a look.
Yeah,
if it's,
why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
it'd be cool to see
It
that.
would be nice. It would be
Yeah.
nice to have you as guest.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
thank you very much for that. Is there anything else you want to add on regarding that project? Because it's a new project, but is there anything you want to add to that?
No, okay. It's really a really crazy project. We are pushing. We are putting all our effort on it now. So hope to bring on the street quite fast. And if anybody of your listener want some more information, can contact us, and we will glad to send all the information of these cars and also the project app.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll leave a link of all your details down below, and I'll probably put it on the screen as well, so everybody can contact you. Just how many of those are you planning to make?
19.
Oh wow, so that's really rare. That is gonna be
really rare. Want to be very rare, something really special.
I mean, even the GTO is special. They made 292, and there's only, from what I was told from someone who sells these cars, there's only like 200 left. So
that's true.
Really, so if you see them, it's really rare. Just find something like this, it'll be amazing. Especially if you have both, that'll be really good combination.
Exactly.
So
actually, this is something that we like, that we have these two cars that are made following two different approach, one more classic, more vintage, one more modern, more aggressive. So we can propose to the client two different products, even if we start with the same base.
So how much is the Granturismo if you wanted to order one?
The price is around $500,000.
And that's again, it's quite good. I mean, it's a lot of money in the world that we live in today, but for what you're getting, I think it's a really good price.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's nothing out of the world, considering the price of many supercars.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it's a bespoke, tailor-made car to you. So and well, I'm only 19. Wherever you go, people are gonna look at it. So it's kind of so even in London, where there's Ferraris everywhere, people will still turn around and look at that. So it's a special project. Let's try to wrap this up for this podcast. Is there anything you want to add on final words before we go?
No, I think it's everything about our project. Thank you very much to involve us in your podcast, and I hope to meet you and your people soon, maybe in London.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, thank you very much for agreeing to come on. You're the first manufacturer, manufacturer stroke car maker, resto mod person to come on my podcast. So it's my honor. Thank you very much for that. And you're a fellow Ferrari fan, Ferraristi. So I'm a big fan of the brand. So it's always nice to talk Ferrari with someone who actually knows the brand really well. So I'm gonna wrap this up now. I want to say to everybody listening, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you like it, please click like, subscribe, and leave any comments down below. If you want to contact Gianluca, please do so. I'll leave his contact details below, or just DM me on Instagram and I'll pass the message on, or leave a comment below and I'll pass it on. And once again, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.